Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, June 11th, 2021, and we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day and also the final day of the current trading week. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions, because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take control away from the day traders and the algorithms. I consider them to be the smartest money on the street. And if they're the smartest money on the street, then I want to follow what they are doing at the end of the day. And that's why I make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day, right before the market closes. So I hope you're having a good day today. I appreciate you being here. Hope you had a good trading week and hope you are going to have a nice upcoming weekend. I appreciate the time you spend here. I hope that by spending and investing the time here that it's helping you with your trading and your investing. So currently the Dow is down 35.72 points, down about 0.1%. The NASDAQ is positive slightly, up 22 points, up 0.16%, and the S&P is up 1.17%. So just about break even. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer as always. I know that's everyone's favorite part of the podcast. Secondly, we are going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. I'm going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. Today is the end of the week, so we will also take a look at my weekly trades today, being that it's Friday. After that, I did have a couple good day trades today, actually, on Caterpillar and Philip Morris. I will share those with you as well. Then we're going to go over to the board. We're going to take a look at my students' current positions, and we're going to go through one by one and see how those are doing. After that, we're going to talk about trader psychology, always my favorite part of the day. I think it's the most important skill that you can ever learn in trading. You do have to learn technical analysis, entries, exits, support levels, resistance levels, all those kind of things. But at the end of the day, following your plan comes down to trader psychology. So I like to talk about that, like to talk about some good trading words of wisdom, and I hope that's helpful for you each day. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a trade. First, confluence combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second, I need a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. So if I'm risking $1,000 to the downside, I need to be able to make at least $2,000 or more to the upside. And then number 3, please make sure that you have a complete trading plan, regardless of what kind of trade you have. Are you position sizing for volatility? Do you know what your maximum allowed loss is? Do you know where your emergency stop is? Do you know where your end of day stop is? Do you know where your intraday profit targets are? Do you know where your overhead resistance levels are going to be? Do you have a good principled trailing stop methodology so that if you do have a profitable trade, you don't give it all back? So, we talk about having a plan for a trade. A plan is not just where do I buy and where do I sell? No, there's so much more to it, like I just mentioned. So please make sure you have some kind of plan. If you don't have a plan, you need some help with that, just type in the live stream there and I can help you with that as well. But hopefully by showing you how I manage my trades, it will give you an idea. So I do have some potential end of day candidates today. As we get closer to the end of the podcast and closer to the close of the day, I will go through each one by one, multiple time frames, look at the risk to reward ratio, see if there's a valid setup, and if there is, I will go ahead and buy something before the close of the day. All right. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you need clarification on anything I discussed today, please let me know. Happy to clarify. If there's any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the market closes, just go ahead, put them in the chat and maybe put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive and I will get to it just as quickly as I can. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits for me today, if you could just be so kind to wait till after the close of the market before telling me about them so that the market's closed, I'm done teaching, pressure's off, and I'll take as much time as we need to get those all updated. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who's here today. Dan is here. Greetings, Greg and Familia. Greetings to you, Dan. I'm glad that you are part of our Familia. Hope you're having a good day. Packy is here. Good to see you, Paxton. What about the Jazz last night, huh? With the Clips? Good game. And I'm sure you watched that. I watched the highlights, and I was glad to see that. But hope you're doing well. Kamal is here. Good to see you, Kamal. Appreciate everything you do for this channel, my friend. I know everyone else does, and always thank you for your friendship. I appreciate that. Lova is here. Michael Wilkinson. Hi, everybody. Good to see you, Michael. Hope you are having a good day. Johnson is here. Happy Friday, everyone. Hello, Johnson. Always nice to have you here, my friend. Gary is here. Hello, Greg and group. Nice to see you, Gary. Hope you and the family are doing well. Lilia is here. Hi, traders. Hi, Lilia. Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice day. Please say hello to the dogs for me. Steve Burns is here. Always an honor and a privilege, Steve, to have you here. I mean that. I know everyone else feels the same way. Thank you so much for including me on your Friday list. And that's always kind of you. And thanks for sharing my little statement about speed dating when it comes to trading. I just saw that and got a chuckle out of that, but that's kind of you. Hope you and Holly and the dogs are all doing well. Ava is here. Hello, Ava. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you are having a good day. Greetings to you. Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you. Frank is here. Hi, Frank. Good to see you. Thank you as always for your wonderful poems. I always really look forward to them, and I think they're a big hit out there on Twitter. Looking forward to that book one day, the poem book. George is here. Hi, all. Happy Friday. Good to see you, George. Always nice to have you here. Appreciate you spending the time and making the time to come here. So, all right, well, let's get started. We've got kind of a lot to go through today, being that it's Friday. Gary, Jonathan, and I did buy CHGG with this double bottom bullish divergence, bullish engulfing bar, V1, bought this at 74.64. We are currently at 76.43, up 0.45% today. No profit targets yet today, but this trade is up 2.39%. CMG is a trade that I took yesterday with Jonathan, David, and Kamal. Nice false breakout to the downside, plus a V1, plus a rejection of the 200 upward sloping 250-day moving average. Bought it at the close at 1343.05. It's currently 1365. It's up 20.99 points. It's up 1.56% on the day and about 1.56% on the trade. Did hit one profit target earlier, took 10% off at 1357.74. Looks like it did reject the 50, although I did not take this trade based upon a strategy that I would get out using that. So I am just sticking with this 250-day as my end of day stop. But nice trade so far. Monster, Gary, Tracy, Paxton, Jonathan, and I did buy Monster with this intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. Bought it at 459.21. Good risk to reward ratio. Also closed up into the value zone. Moved up nicely the next day, very nicely, and took some nice profits. I can't remember if I hit a profit target yesterday or not. Is up slightly, up 0.81% today, and up 10.51% on the trade. Not too bad in 3 days. The SPY, did have an overnight SPY trade. Of course, I buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sold it first thing the next morning. Yesterday, I bought it at the close at 423.61. Sold it right at the open, 424.13. So 423.61 to 424.16. Been some nice overnight. I think that was about break even. 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row we've had that gap up, and so that looks, and actually reversed a lot of the days. So anyway, I'll buy this, hold it over the weekend, sell it first thing the next morning. TER, am I the only one left? Yeah, I'm the only one left in TER. I bought it with a 520 crossover here at 127.70. Moved up nicely, had a nice little trend up, took a bunch of profits, did get to 1.5 ATR trailing stop level, meaning that once I get there, if I have a close below the previous day's low, I get at half. So I did lock in half here at about 128.48, went up, another profit target, sideways, big down day, closed below both the 5 and the 20. So whatever I had remaining, I sold half because the price closed below the 5 and the 20. Down today 5 cents, but the 5 is still holding over the 20 EMA, so I am still holding, and so far been a profitable trade. XLU, I did buy XLU. Anyone else with me here? No, I was the only one that bought XLU with the 520 crossover yesterday at 65.95. It's up slightly today at 66.01, up 0.05%, and I'm sorry, up 5 cents and up 0.06% on the trade. But up on the day, up on the trade, can't complain about that. Twitter, I did buy Twitter. Am I the only one left? No, Miko. I did buy Twitter with the close under, close back over the 200-day moving average at 52.58. This has been a wonderful trade. Moved 1.5 ATRs from my entry. Finally had a close below the previous days. Locked in half profits here, but we've had another leg up. Down a little bit on the day today, but from entry to current price up 12.74%. I thought it was that more than that percentage-wise, but yeah, up 12.74%. Let me show you weekly trades. Here we go. I'm only show these on the weekend, but Gary and I did buy AGQ on the weeklies with a return to value, sideways motion, V2, false breakout to the downside, under 50, over 50. Bought this at 43.96. Moved up nicely, then it lost the 50, so I took half profits here at 45.98, but we had another leg up. No profit targets this week. It is up on the week, and so far this trade from entry to current price up 17.68%, so that's been a good one. Dash, Tracy and Paxton and I did buy Dash. We bought Dash about a month ago. We had this false breakout to the downside, V1. I didn't buy it there. I bought it the next week when it tested the halfway of the washout bar. Also tested the -1 ATR channel. I bought it 137.48. The next week it went above 50 and below 50, so I took profits, half profits at 150.36. This week up nicely, up 5.95%. And so from entry to current price, up 9.78%. So that's a goodie. And then PKI, I think I'm the only one. I did buy PKI with this higher low bullish engulfing bar, V1, 520 crossover, bought it at 140.80. I've been in this trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 weeks. Did move up nicely, took some profits. This week up 5.25%. And so far, this particular trade up 3.89%. And then I think that's it. So yeah, haven't looked at the weekly trades. I basically almost forgot about them, which is a nice way, but you can see there have been some nice gains on these weekly trades as well as on the daily trades. And so that's, why I like to trade multiple time frames. Let's look at intraday trades. Caterpillar. Okay, what got me interested in Caterpillar in the first place was that, look at this huge move down. Earlier when I was looking at it, it was closer to the 30 RSI, so I figured on the daily time frame there would be some buyers coming in, but I'd have to get a correct signal. So the big picture was we're near 30. I imagine some buyers are going to come in. That was my hypothesis. Then we go to the 5 minute. And here we go. So I looked at the bigger time frame to get me interested in the trade. I go to the smaller time frame, and a few things happened here. false breakout to the downside, and a V1 and an under 30 over 30. So a confluence of different indicators. I got in at 220.42. 10 minutes, it just kind of moved sideways, had a big up bar, sold half at 220.97, had another big one. I always take advantage of moves up, sold another half of a half at 221.29, moved up again at a higher level, sold at 221.45. I had a 16th of the trade left, and then it closed below the previous day's low. So that was a nice trade, in at 220, out at 220.94, out at 220.97, out at 221.29, and out at 221.45. And Caterpillar is also on my list today of potential end of day buys. Then I also had a short on Philip Morris. Big picture, we had this big down bar. We'd rallied, we'd retraced quite a bit. Doesn't mean it can't take that out, but boy, the higher you get on a big bar like this, the more downside movement, especially if you have a valid signal, you're going to get. And I got it. I shorted here. False breakout. It wasn't the value zone. I was talking about this yesterday. I will short things in the value zone, but it has to be the right setup. False breakout to the upside and a V1 and a bullish engulfing bar. We lost the moving averages and we lost the 50 RSI. That was my trigger to short. I shorted at 98.18. Next bar had follow through. I covered half at 98.04, went down more, covered at 97.93. I had a quarter left. And then here, when we closed above the previous day's high, I got out of the rest. So I shorted at 98.18, covered at 98.08, covered at 98.04, and 97.93. So nice little day trades today on Philip Morris. And, as you can see, that pretty much was the place to cover because we've gone up ever since then. Okay, let's look at your trades, shall we? Here we go. PKI, Steve bought PKI yesterday and David bought PKI. Oh no, I think David's with my trade. Steve bought the 520 crossover yesterday at 146.10. It's up 140. It's at 146.43. It's up 27 cents. So it's up on the day and up on the trade. Airbnb. Jonathan, Gary, and Kamal. Let's see. I think Jonathan and Gary bought this at 143.20. Kamal bought it yesterday, I think, at about 146.24 at the close. This is right. Yeah. And it's at 148.13, up 1.34% today. So up on the day for both Kamal and Gary, and up on the trade for both Kamal and Gary. Roku. Steve and Jonathan bought Roku with the 520 crossover here at 341.50. It's currently 347.26. It is down 55 cents today, but it is up on the trade for both Steve and for Jonathan. Uber. All right, good. Gary and Kamal bought Uber yesterday with the false breakouts to the downside, and also, Gary bought down here at 48.20. Kamal bought it yesterday at the close at about 49.57. It's 50.02. It's up 48 cents today, so it's up on the trade and up on the day for both Gary and Kamal. DKNG. Frank and Gary bought DKNG at 49.60. Moved sideways, then had a nice movement up. Down just a little bit today, down 0.84%, but it is up 6.68% on the trade. Shopify will be Kamal. Kamal bought Shopify at 12.31. It's currently 12.41.12. It's up 0.8% today and up on the trade. So congratulations there. ELY is Frank. Frank bought ELY all the way back here at 27.75. It's 34.25. It is down 2.86% today, but still Frank is up almost 20% on this trade. Match.com. Tracy and Paxton bought Match.com. this deep dip buy with the rejection of the 200. Bought it at 130, excuse me, 137.90. It's currently 141.59. It is down a little bit on the day, but it is nicely up on the trade. LMT, Johan bought LMT at 384.99, had a big move up, then down, moving sideways here, is down a little on the day, but it looks like Johan is still up on the trade. Pins, Steve bought pins yesterday with a 520 crossover at 68.07. It's currently 68.02, so it's down 5 cents from entry and down on the day and down just a little bit on the trade. BMY, Lilia and Jonathan had a nice trade on BMY. False breakout to the downside in a V2. They bought about 65.36. It's down 17 cents today, but still nicely up on the trade. And Lilia and Jonathan look like they are up about 2.86% on the trade. REKR, I have Lilia still in REKR. With the close above the 200-day moving average in at 11.58. It's currently 10.85. It is up on the day, but this one is down on the trade. CTLT, Steve bought CTLT with a 520 crossover at 107.15. It's currently 108.57. It is down on the day, but it is up on the trade. Amazon, Steve bought Amazon yesterday with a 1030 EMA crossover, bought it at 33.44.42. It's 33.41.29, so it is down slightly on the day, and it is down slightly on the trade. And then Tesla, Tracy and Paxton bought Tesla with the close under and close back over the 200-day at 610.30. It's currently 607.89. This one is slightly down on the day, and it is also slightly down on the trade. Ava says Hubs has a 520 crossover yesterday and above the 50 SMA. Still seems to be in the range though. Well, at least it's good it got above the high 2 days ago. Hasn't got above this high, 56. Only 190,000 shares traded. So that's what scares me a little bit, Ava. It is in the value zone, and it did create a V2 in the value zone, which is nice as well. MACD's green. We're over 50 RSI. The crossover is still in place. Up nicely today as well. That's a tough one for me. The only thing that concerns me about that is the volume, Ava. But if you do anything with that, please let me know. Jonathan says, evening, Greg and group. Nice to see you, Jonathan. Johnson says, TDOC, close to becoming a V2. TDOC. Well, not a V2. It was a V1 yesterday. Because Wednesday we had day one, day two was yesterday, went under, closed back above. This was a little high for me to buy. I don't take V1s, V2s above the 1 ATR channel. So I hope that makes sense, Jonathan, that it's not a V2. It was a V1 yesterday. 51 RSI, fractal. We would have a fractal if we got above the high on the 8th. It would have to get above here to be a fractal. So a fractal is a high with 2 lower highs to the left and 2 lower highs to the right. So it's not quite a fractal, and there was a V1 yesterday. Steve says BMBL has a new 520 crossover. Yeah, Ava pointed that out to me, Steve, but unfortunately, I don't have that chart. She was nice enough to make me a chart, but BMBL has the 520 crossover. I'm personally not going to take that just because I can't track it on my charts. Vinny is here. Vinny, nice to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're having a good day, and I appreciate you being here. All right. How we doing? 126. Tell you what. Let's step over into trader psychology land. This is from our good friend Steve Burns, who is here in the chat with us right this second. This is Steve over on the New Traders, Rich Traders channel over on Facebook. This is a great channel. And you should come, if you're on Facebook, you should come over and subscribe to this. And of course, Steve is my favorite poster. And this is a little bit of a longer one, but let's go through it. We're talking about disciplined traders compared to emotional traders. Be honest with yourself when I read these out. The emotional trader explanations, I guarantee you, I have done every single one of these. Not anymore, but I used to. So, you know, if you have any, if when I read the emotional traders, if there's anyone that can relate to this, please raise your hand. I can see you. And be honest, but I'm going to raise my hand on all of these. But let's start with the disciplined trader. Trade a defined trading plan. Pretty important, super important. You need a real trading plan. Emotional traders, they trade based on emotions. It doesn't work, everyone. Believe me, I've been doing this forever. Your emotions are going to get the best of you. You have to have a defined trading risk. Disciplined traders manage risk. You hear me talk about this ad nauseum because it is so important. Emotional traders, the more confident they are, the bigger they trade. Sometimes I have students when I'm doing my classes and I'm like, well, this is a super really good trade. We should probably get, buy like 5-10 times as much. You're like, yeah. I'm like, no. It's not the way, right? Each trade is just one of the next 1,000 trades. Disciplined traders exit based upon a predetermined stop. Emotional traders exit due to fear. Does that resonate with anyone? And usually just the worst place to get out to, by the way. Disciplined traders enter based upon a setup. You need a setup. You need a trigger. You need something to tell you you're getting in the trade. Emotional traders enter based on greed. Right? That is why when I work with new traders, you always hear me harp about buying above the value zone and buying too high. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, everything looks great up there, but it's overvalued. I want to buy in value, sell above value. I don't want to buy above value and sell back into value when it's probably going to go right back up. Exit a trade when wrong. Disciplined traders exit a trade when wrong. Emotional traders hold a losing trade to prove they are right. I've done this about 1,000,001 times. Not anymore, but I used to. Disciplined traders trade based on price action, which is the most important. The price says it all, everyone. Not the news, not the stories that you hear, the price. Emotional traders trade based upon their opinions. Opinions are killers. Opinions are killers, everyone. Disciplined traders do the homework. Do you guys do the homework? Are you studying the charts during the day? You're getting your stuff from CNBC. Do the homework. Put the time in. Emotional traders believe they are special. Well, there you go. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, but I would assume that you are not special when it comes to trading because 80-90% of people lose money trading. So why not just put in the homework instead? Disciplined traders only want to make money. Undisciplined traders want to prove something to someone. Yeah, right. I hear a lot of that with Bitcoin. Disciplined traders lose on and move to the next trade. Emotional traders blame someone after losing trade. Do you know this guy or girl? Oh man, because he told me to blah, 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 blah. Take responsibility for your trades. No one's forcing you into a trade. You have to know if the trade is a good trade, good setup, good risk to reward. And if it doesn't work, then just fine. Just move on. Just move on like the disciplined trader. Disciplined traders trade with focus and calm. Emotional traders trade with stress and strong emotions. That one is exhausting. I've been there. Disciplined traders have a steady state of mind. Emotional traders have huge swings in moods. Listen, that's why I'm always telling you everything I do in my life in regards to trading has to do with me keeping my emotions balanced. Because if I get off balance, that's when bad things can happen. So how do we do that? I usually take one trade a day. I usually position size based upon volatility, right? That's what keeps me in that good, happy spot. win or lose. Disciplined traders, no one trade means too much. Undisciplined emotional traders over celebrate wins and get depressed over losses. Man, have I been there. Remember, each trade is just one of the next 1,000 trades. Don't get too involved into it. Don't get married to it. Position size with it. If it doesn't work, just move on. Don't get mad, right? If you have an edge, the edge will play out just like it does in any casino in the world. So anyway, I know this was a little bit long, but thank you, Steve Burns. Let's just focus on being the disciplined trader. Let's just leave this emotional garbage behind. Right? Just leave it behind. It's not going to work for you. I've done this long enough. I can tell you right now, it is not going to work for you. This side of the ledger will work for you. This side of the ledger will not work for you. If you raised your hand, and I saw some of you didn't raise your hand, by the way, but if you raise your hand on a lot of these, then you have some work to do. Let's focus on this side of the ledger. Thank you, Steve Burns. I love those ones. I love those kind of long, extended ones that we can kind of riff on for a while, but that post is spot on. For sure, spot on. George says, Apple has V2 today, or almost, and a 520. Almost. You are right. It almost does, and it has a 520, and MACD is positive. Apple is one of the ones that I'm looking at today for sure, and we'll go through that in just a moment. Frank has a poem for us. Let me paste this over here, everyone. And let's read it. You know it's going to be good because it's from Frank. All right. Markets can move like a wind through the trees, finding direction with a lure and a tease. Traders seek signs to buy stocks that please, knowing price answers not to them, but that breeze. Wow, Frank, I don't know. They get better every day. How is this possible? Markets can move like a wind through the trees, finding directions with a lure and a tease. Traders seek signs to buy stocks that please, knowing price answers not to them, but that breeze. Yeah, they're finicky. They're persnickety, right? Stock prices are persnickety and they're finicky, and such a good poem, Frank. Thank you. Thank you. Steve says VRM. Let me bring this over here. VRM. Let's take a look at VRM. Vroom. Yeah, it does. And it closed back over the 200-day moving average. That looks pretty good. Let me do some math on that. That over in the potential category. VRM. Great, Steve. Thank you for pointing that out. And we will go through all those shortly. Steve says, that is the classic post, Greg. I think that is one. I think that is one was created over a decade ago, but still timeless. Well, that's yeah. A decade ago, 50 years ago, it's all the same. Charts are all the same. There's fear and greed and emotions and support levels, and that stays around because those things are all valid. You have to be disciplined, everybody. So many people lose money trading in the market, and they do it because they're trading on emotions. That's where professional traders make the money. Unfortunately, when you think about it, they make the money from people who are trading their emotions. I hate to say it, but in my opinion, it's 100% true. And that's, the 10% take money from the 90%. So why not do what the 10% do and be disciplined? Jonathan said, sadly, I'm an emotional wreck. Oh, buddy, really? It seems like your trades have been good. Frank says, thank you, Dan. Dan says, Gregorians, join me in presenting El Professor thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Steve? The professor, no one's ever called me a professor before, but thank you, Dan. I always appreciate you rounding up, thumbs up. I really do. Thank you, my friend. All right. Well, what am I doing? Does anyone know what I'm doing? I'm getting a drink of water. How about that? You want to take a look at Bitcoin? All right. Here is Bitcoin. I entered yesterday when we had a close under the 250 and over 250. I didn't enter there. I wanted to see if we'd have a little bit of a back test. I really like back test. I like back tests when you close above and you have a little bit of backfill. I did buy Bitcoin at about 36.67. It did hold the 250. Is up today 1.57%. I've had some really good trades on Bitcoin. I bought the 30 RSI, sold it here right when we got back to the 250-day moving average. I've had some great trades on Bitcoin, but I like that we back tested and that we're back up. But you know, my end of day stop, which is 6 o'clock p.m. my time, is if we get a close below the 250. But as long as it hangs above there, I'll keep with it. You know, if it gets a little persnickety up here around the 200, I'll just sell it, get out, wait for a close back above the 200, have that support below me. So, all right. So there's Bitcoin. Oh, and MicroStrategy's up pretty good here, so that's good. Oopsie. Oh, let me take care of something really quick here. That takes care of that. 30.94. Okay, so that 0.94 minus 0.75. 100. Oh, that's good. Done and done. And let's see over here. Okay, that all looks good as well. All looks good as well. All right, just give me 1 second, everyone. Okay. All right. Good. Let's go. All right. Let's start with Caterpillar. So, you know, I saw the day trade on Caterpillar. You know, there's a confluence of indicators that's really good. Does not happen very often. It's a confluence of an under 30, over 30 RSI. At the same time, you're at the 100-day moving average. Earlier in the day, I thought this was a possibility, but now it's lost it. It's under the 30 RSI. It's also under the 200-day moving average as well. So this one would not qualify. If we close back above the 100 and close back above the 30 RSI, I might be interested. But as we're looking at it right now, no. INDA, I was actually looking at this as a short. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see a V2 to the downside, a loss of the 70 RSI, and a close under the 5 EMA for a short. Right now it's at 69. It looks like it's right at the 5 EMA. I mean, this stock really, it does a lot of just, I don't know what to call this, but like fake moves up where there's just no moves. But I can see a day where this really comes down. I don't know if I'll short this or not today, but I would need to have a V2 to the downside. I would also need to have a close under the 5 EMA and also a close under the 70. So it has the 70, it doesn't have the V2, and it's really, I guess it is closed underneath now, but just something I may consider at the end of the day, but right now. Frank says, fortune cookie reads, a TV may insult your intelligence, but a computer rubs your face in the screen. That's true. A TV may insult your intelligence, but a computer rubs your face in the screen. Well, there you go. There you go. It's true. It's worse than the TV for sure. Thank you, Frank. I like the fortune cookie ones. KMX. So I was looking at KMX earlier. I mean, really the only thing I see here is that for such a long time, we've been under the 10-day moving average. I mean, we've been under it for months. Rejected it here, rejected it here, rejected it here, rejected it here, rejected it here. Today is the first day that it is closing above the 10-day. When something like that happens, there may be a change in the wind, right? When it can't get over a certain moving average for a long time, and then it finally does. Excuse me. Would I take this here today? Probably not. Probably not, but it was kind of a good teaching lesson that when you have something that's under for so long and it finally closes above, that there may be a change in the wind. So there may be a change in the wind, but I still kind of need a valid type of setup. I guess there's a fractal. Here's a high with 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right, but really still not enough for me. Ideally, I'd like to see it come back test that -1 ATR channel, let some of the people that bought here take some profits, move it back down, have a new group of buyers come in. So I think this one's a little premature at the moment. Verizon, I was looking at this earlier. If it was back testing the 200, but now it's lost it, so I don't see anything there. Walmart, close under, close back over the 200-day moving average. I think I back tested this earlier. Here it is. Yeah, I did back test the close under, close back over the 200-day moving average on Walmart. This is from etfreplay.com. I'm using this with permission, but you can see the back test negatively. So I am going to pass on Walmart. Apple. As mentioned earlier, Apple is very close to a V2, but it has a 520 crossover, which is legitimate. It is legitimate. Doesn't mean it's going to definitely have to go up, but over time, taking the 520 crossovers on Apple has been a profitable proposition, and I like where it's at in the value zone. I'm not thrilled about the resistance up here. MACD is positive. We're above the 50 RSI. It's up on, let's see, what are the averages doing? Yeah. Okay. So this is a valid trade, and it is in a good area. It's in the value zone. You're not chasing it. So Apple is definitely a potential for me today. Square was looking for a 520 crossover. It did trigger a fractal. Here's a high with 2 lower highs to the left, high with 2 lower highs to the right. But that's all it has. It does not have the 520 crossover, so not interested in that one at this time. Dollar General did have a close under, close back over the 200. I guess yesterday would have been the time to buy it. I just feel like it's a little chasey now. I was discussing this earlier with Gary. So I think I'll just leave that one alone. Win. False breakout to the downside. So we came into the value zone. Sideways, sideways, sideways. V2, rejection of the -1 ATR channel. I do like that. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's hanging out in the value zone. So that one is definitely a potential. And that one came from Lava, by the way, everyone. VRM, Steve mentioned VRM has a 520 crossover and a close back over the 200-day moving average and in the value zone on the weekly. So that one looks good. Lilia says, WGO, is this considered a double bottom with a bullish divergence or not really because the price can go lower, i.e. we don't know if the current bottom is an actual bottom? Let's take a look. No, that's legitimate. That's definitely a legitimate double bottom with the bullish divergence, Lily. We have a low with deep red MACD bars. We rally into some green. We come back, test, go equal to or lower than the previous low, which we are. But the red MACD bars are very shallow. They're not very deep. So yeah, this is legitimate. But is there a trigger? I don't quite see a trigger here. My first gut instinct looking at this is even if we got to the 200-day moving average, depending how fast we got there, we would still have a double bottom with the bullish divergence, but some major support at the 200, possibly. Weekly looks like it's lost the -1 ATR channel. I think the spot is about $3 lower down here at the 200 and 250, and I think we would still have a double bottom with the bullish divergence. So yeah, we don't know if it's the low. Well, that's not true, I guess. Yeah, you're right. We don't know it's the low now because we are lower than this low over here. So yes, it's forming. The setup is forming with the double bottom bullish divergence, but I don't see it yet. My gut instinct is the 200 or the 250. Kamal wants to look at Nuva. Well, we rejected the -1 ATR channel. We have a V1. I wouldn't be interested in this at all, Kamal, other than we rejected the 100-day moving average. So that adds some credibility to this trade. If we look at the weekly, we're hanging out in the value zone, which is good. I mean, there should be some buyers coming in here at the very least. So that one's okay. Only 191,000 shares traded though. So you know me, that's a little bit of a concern. Snap, fractal, Minervini. Snap. Yeah, breakout. Let's see, do we have a cup and handle on this bad boy? No. But yeah, it's a breakout. It is a fractal. Here's your fractal level over here. Right about, yeah, nice little saucer right there. Lots of volume for the breakout. That could work. Question is where is going to be your stop on that, Kamal? Just are you going to sell if it comes back into the base? Is that what you're thinking? Holy heck. Interesting. All right, we have about 10 minutes. Let me see if there's any work to do on Chug. That looks fine. CMG is doing great. MSTR doing great. SPY, buying the overnight SPY trade. TER is my only down one today, so that's pretty good. And the 5 is holding the 20. XLU did go positive, which is fantastic. And Twitter keeps on moving on up. It's having some issues with this this 50-day moving average here, though. We'll see if it can close above. And then we're out of Philip Morris. Doesn't look like Caterpillar's going to do anything there. So, Apple has the 520 crossover. We had a reversal bar yesterday. We're higher than halfway. I like Apple on the weekly, certainly. We're above the 20, we're above the 50-day moving average. Win. A little concerned about last week's bar. Did reject the -1 ATR channel as well. And then VRM, nice 520 crossover. High 44.10, high 44.8, and a fractal. I think I'm going to buy VRM. I think that's the one I want today. Thank you, Steve, for pointing that out to us. Yeah. All right, so VRM is what I'm going to be buying today. And that's it. The Apple trade is also valid. I think the Win trade is also valid. It's up on a day when the Dow is down, although it is a NASDAQ stock, and the NASDAQ is up. Atex, anything you don't like about Apple? Well, I'm a little concerned about the 100-day being up there, the 50. I'm concerned about yesterday's V1 bar that reversed. We are higher than halfway. I mean, I think Apple looks fine, to be honest with you. I think it looks fine, but I like VRM a little bit better because of the 200 and the fractal. But, you know, if you force me to buy Apple today, I'd be totally fine with that trade as well. But I just seem to like VRM just a little bit better. Q's making a high on the day. Atex says, thank you. Makes sense with the overhead resistance. I think so. We have about 5 minutes. I'm just going to wait it out to buy VRM. Michael says, thank you, Steve. There are lot to like on the VRM chart. I agree. Steve is long, VRM on the 520 EMA crossover. Good. Make sure you give me a price there, Steve, so I can get it updated correctly for you. $44.16. Thank you. Dow Jones went positive. All right, I'll just go ahead and buy VRM right now. XLU making a high on the day. Grateful for that. Wow, all the positions went positive. CHGG, CMG, MSTR, SPY, TER, XLU, Twitter. Good day trades today as well, so nice. We have about a minute and a half. One minute to go. All right, about 10 seconds. Buying on the cues into the close. And that's it. That is it for the day and for the week. All right, let's take a look and see where I bought, what I bought. SPY at 424.31, VRM at 44.22. All right, that takes care of everything. All right, so VRM I bought here. I guess I'll just put my price so it doesn't get complicated. 44.22. Put Steve, 520 cross and 200 SMA. All right. So listen, if any of my students have any new entries or exits they'd like me to update today on the board, please go ahead. This is the time to do it. Before we get to that, just wanted to quickly go over 3 pieces of business. One, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I think I do a really good job of it. I teach a great course. I know that. It's a one-on-one course, just you and I, 15 total hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. I teach you all 5 of my trading strategies. I teach you step by step. When you're done with this course, I know you will be a different trader. I know you'll be a better trader. So if you are interested, please let me know. The course costs $1,750, but in my opinion, it's worth every single penny. So if you're interested, email's in the description. Send me an email. Say, Greg, I'm interested in potentially taking your one-on-one course. I'll reply back. Say, great. Let's set up a Skype call. It's a good time for you and I to get to know each other, learn a little bit more about your trading, your goals, your challenges. It's a great time for you to ask me questions about the trading course. And then when we're done with the Skype call, you obviously can think about it as long as you want. And one day, if the moment grabs you and you go, you know what, I want to be a better trader. I definitely want to be a better trader. I'm going to get back a hold of Greg and we'll get it scheduled and we'll start. Number 2, I do have a really great online trading course on it's a video course, online video course on udemy.com. The link is in the description of the video. It's a wonderful course. I teach you step by step how to trade the deep dip buy stock trading strategy. I use it all the time. You see me use it here, but I teach you step by step. It's 9.5 hours. 26 total videos and 15 study guides. So it's 12 or 15 bucks. It's the best 12 or 15 bucks you'll ever spend. You're really going to learn a lot. So if you have an extra 12 or 15 bucks hanging around this weekend and you have some time, go over to udemy.com, buy the course, and let me know if you have any questions. I know it's going to be a good course for you. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Helps to build the channel, helps to keep the channel around, lets YouTube know that there's some good data. There's some good content here, and then they'll go out and share it with more people so we can keep the channel growing. So if you could hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get back over. Okay, so Michael says, while we're waiting, a true fact about the Gregorian calendar. Oh, the Gregorian calendar was adopted because it provided a more accurate way to track days, years, and centuries. Its sole purpose was to work well on multiple time frames. Whoa. How about that? That's a coinky-dink, right? I guess that's why they called me Gregory. Johnson, thank you for that, Michael. Johnson says, market SPX at all-time high, going to all cash. Seems like a prudent thing to do, to be honest with you, Johnson. I kind of like that. Kamal says, kept what I have, no additions. Okay. Tracy is out of Tesla. Good. Technically it closed above, but okay. So we'll get out of Tesla. Glad to see you keeping those losses small, Tracy. And in VRM. Okay, Tracy and Paxton in VRM. Gotcha. Gary is in VRM as well. Frank is in Snap. Half position, 64.16. Also in SKX. from 48.90. Oh, way to go, Frank. Very nice, Frank. Okay, Lilia got out of REKR. I figured. Glad to hear that, though. VRM is Lilia. And XLU. As of tomorrow morning? You mean yesterday morning or Monday morning? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So yeah, good day overall. Everything positive today, plus the day trades. That's great. Glad to see Bitcoin up as well. So listen, I read this every day, but let's do it again. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is by Martin Kornfeld. It's pretty simple. Let's go out and do one random act of kindness today for both an animal and a human. Lilia shared a story with me where she did an act of kindness for an animal. So very nice, Lilia. I'm proud of you. But let's try to do that every day. One nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal. It will just make the world a whole lot better place, right? And maybe one day somebody will do it for you as well. All right. See what's going on after hours. SPY is down a little. Qs are down a little. VIX is down a little. All right. Ava says, thank you. Enjoy the weekend, everyone. Thank you, Lily. Lilia was right there above. Thank you, Ava. Appreciate that. And thank you, Lilia, also. Jonathan is in half VRM. All right, so I've got a few people over here. Okay. Oakley dokley, smokily. All right, does anyone have anything else to add? If you do, please let me know. We'll get it covered. I'd like to wish all of you a nice weekend. I hope you go out and enjoy yourself, have some fun, get some rest, maybe get a little exercise, maybe study up on, do a little weekend chart study. That's always good. But where do the indexes? So everything ended up green. Dow Jones slightly. NASDAQ up 49, so that's pretty decent. And the S&P up 8. Jonathan says, cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. Enjoy your weekend. You as well, Jonathan. Hope you're doing well in the family. Please tell everyone hello from me. All right. Well, I guess that's it. We'll start the next trading week, or the new trading week, next week. So thanks again for coming. George says, have a great weekend. Thank you, George. Nice to see you. And yeah, on the way out here, I'll run the U.S. legal disclaimer. So take care, everyone. Talk to y'all soon. Hopefully see you Monday. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.